Dear children, good morning. Last week I taught you lesson 6 from your supplementary reader. Today I am going to teach you lesson 7 from your supplementary reader entitled The Necklace. It's a beautiful short story and which teaches you a lesson. We should be happy with what we have. Suppose we borrow something from somebody. If we lose the borrowed jewel or whatever it is, what will happen? Let us see in the lesson. The necklace, lesson 7 from your supplementary reader, page number 39. She was one of those pretty young ladies. Here she is Matilda, a young, beautiful lady. She was born as if through an error of destiny. It is because of her fate. Destiny means fate, into a family of clerks. A poor middle class family. She had no dowry, no hopes, no means of becoming known, loved, and married by a man either rich or distinguished. She was unable to get any rich life, or she was unable to get rich husband, and she allowed herself to marry a petty small clerk, office clerk in the office of the Board of Education. His name is Mr. Loisel. Of course they lead very happy life. What happened one day? Let us see. She was simple, but she was unhappy, because she had lot of dream to lead a rich, luxurious life. But she, because of her fate, she married a poor clerk. She suffered incessantly, that means continuously, feeling herself born for all delicacies and luxuries. She had a dream, but real life is entirely different. She suffered from the poverty of her apartment, the shabby walls, dirty walls. Shabby means dirty walls, and the worn chairs, broken chairs. All these things tortured, troubled her, and angered her. She was getting now and then irritated and felt angry. When she seated herself for dinner opposite her husband every day, who uncovered the tureen with a delighted air, just tureen means a vessel, cooking vessel. The good pot pie is a kind of meat. I know nothing better than that. She would think of elegant dinners. She was again dreaming of a beautiful, luxurious dinners, of shining silver vessels. She thought of the exquisite food, luxurious food, served in marvelous dishes. But her real life was entirely different. She had neither frocks nor jewels, nothing, and she loved only those things. She had a rich friend, a schoolmate at the convent, who she did not like to visit, but once, unfortunately, she visited. After seeing her rich life, she suffered so much when she returned. She wept for whole day from despair and disappointment. She was totally dejected, very sad. One evening, here the important incident starts. Her husband, Loisel, Mr. Loisel, returned from the office, elated happily, bearing in his hand a large envelope cover. Maybe it is invitation. Here, he said, here is something for you, darling. See this envelope, see this invitation. So husband gave that invitation to the lady, Matilda. She quickly drew out a printed card, invitation card, on which were inscribed these words: the Minister of Public Instruction and Madam George Ramponio asked the Mr. and Mrs. Loisel Company, Monday evening, January 18, at the minister's residence. There was a huge party, dance ceremony at minister's residence. It was an invitation. What the husband thought, she would be happy, but instead of being delighted, happy, as her husband had hoped, she threw the invitation spitefully upon the table, murmuring, "What do you suppose I want with that? My dear husband, what do you want? What do you want me to do?" "Hey, my dearie, my darling, I thought it would make you happy. You never go out, and this is an occasion, this is a chance, and a fine one. Every day wishes one. Everybody wishes one such party. It's a huge, luxurious party done by our minister. We can go and enjoy. Not many are given to employees. You will see the whole official world there can enjoy the party." She looked at him with an irritated eye and declared impatiently, "What do you suppose I have to wear to such a grand occasion, a thing as that?" She was worrying about her dress. He had not thought of that. He stammered, "Why? The dress you wear when we go to the theatre. You are having such a wonderful dress you used to wear when we go to theatre. That is enough. It seems very pretty to me." Being a man, he doesn't know anything about the dress. He said very innocently. He was silent, stupefied. That means unable to think properly, and in dismay means shock at the sight of his wife weeping. She started weeping. Matilda started weeping. So he did not know what to do. He stammered, what is the matter? What is the matter, dear darling?" By a violent effort, she had controlled her vexation, tears, cry, and responded in a calm voice, wiping her moist, wet cheeks. "Nothing. Only I have no proper, luxurious dress to attend such function, and consequently I cannot go to this affair. Naturally, I cannot come with you. Give your card to some other colleague whose wife is better fitted out than I. Without proper, luxurious cloth, how can we go to such a grand function of minister?" That's what her worry. He was grieved. He felt sad, but answered, "Come on, dear, don't worry. Let us see, Matilda. How much would a suitable costume cost for the occasion?" "What will be the cost?" "Something that would serve for other occasions also. Something very simple and beautiful." She reflected for some seconds, thinking of a sum that she could ask for without bringing with it an immediate refusal and a frightened exclamation from the economical clerk. Finally, she said in a hesitating voice, I cannot tell exactly, my dear, but it seems to me that 400 francs out to cover it. The dress, luxurious, wonderful dress for such occasion, will be cost 400 francs, means it is actually 81 rupees in Indian currency. That means 81 into 400, 32,400 rupees for a dress. Of course, Mr. Loisel, he turned a little pale. But anyway, for he had saved just this sum. Of course, he had a saving to buy the said 32,400 he was having, but he saved that to buy a gun that he might be able to join some hunting parties the next summer with some of his friends who went to shoot larks, singing birds, on Sunday. Nevertheless, in spite, he answered anyway, very well, okay, darling, I will give you 400 francs. Don't worry, we'll buy the new dress which is suitable for such occasion, but try to have a pretty dress. We'll buy. The day of the ball approached and Madame Maisel seemed sad. Again, the dress was bought, but again she was sad, disturbed, anxious. Nevertheless means though her dress was nearly ready, her husband said to her one evening, Hey, again what? What is the matter with you? You have acted strangely for 2 or 3 days. Why are you? What thought is disturbing you? And she responded, I am vexed not to have a jewel. suitable to this dress, nothing to adorn myself. What to do? I shall have such a poverty-stricken look in such a grand party. I would prefer not to go to this party. Though you bought me a dress, I am not at all having any costly jewel. Oh my God, he replied, you can wear some natural flowers, my darling. In this season, there are plenty of flowers. If you wear such natural flowers, they look very chic. Then you will be looking like a beautiful angel-like woman. She was not convinced. She was not happy with that. No, no, she replied. There is nothing more humiliating than to have a shabby air in the midst of rich women in the function. I don't want to come. Then her husband cried out, how stupid we are. Come on, go and find your friend Madame Forestier and ask her to lend you her jewels for the function. You can borrow the jewels from your friend. Hey, very good, she uttered a cry of joy. It is true. I had not thought of that. The next day she took herself to her friend Madame Forestier's house, and Madame Forestier, she told and related her story of distress, sadness. Immediately Madame Forestier was ready to help, went to her closet, took out a large jewel case, brought it, opened it and said, choose my dear, you can choose whichever jewel you want. She saw at first some bracelets, then a collar of pearls, then a Venetian cross of gold and jewels of admirable workmanship. She tried the jewels before the glass, but hesitated, but could neither decide to take them nor leave them. Then she asked, have you nothing more? She was not satisfied with those. Then, why? Yes, look for yourself. I do not know what will please you, what will make you happy. Suddenly, she discovered in a black satin box a superb necklace of diamonds. Diamond necklace. Oh my God, you're beautiful. Her hands trembled as she took it out. She placed it about her throat against her dress and was ecstatic. That is very, very happy. That was very, very suitable to the dress. Then she asked in a hesitating voice, full of anxiety, could you lend me this? After the function I will give back. Only this. This is enough. Why, yes, certainly. Matilda, you can take this diamond necklace. So, luckily, Matilda borrowed that and she fell upon the neck of her friend, embraced her with passion. She was very happy, thanked her by embracing her friend, then went away with her diamond necklace, that is treasure. The day of the dinner party ball arrived. Madame Loisel was a great success in the function. She was the prettiest of all, elegant, gracious, smiling, and full of joy. All the men noticed her, asked her name, and wanted to be presented. Then she danced with enthusiasm, and she was wearing, and everybody looked at her. Her dress and the diamond necklace attracted everybody. Everybody asked her name. She danced with enthusiasm, with a lot of interest, intoxicated with pleasure, very happy, thinking of nothing but all this admiration. This victory so complete and sweet to her heart. She went home towards 4 o'clock in the morning. So the dance party got over the early morning. Full midnight party, they were dancing. 4 o'clock in the morning, they decided to go home. Actually, her husband, Mr. Loisel, had been half asleep in one of the little salons, maybe sofa. Since midnight, he was asleep. She was happily dancing with the 3 other gentlemen whose wives were enjoying themselves very much. He threw around her shoulders the modest wraps they had carried, whose poverty clashed with the elegance of the ball costume. It was a dupatta-like costume, and it was covering her new dress. She wished to hurry away in order not to be noticed by other women who were wrapping themselves in rich furs. Loisel detained her. Wait, said he, I am going to call a cab. But she would not listen and descended the steps rapidly. She started walking. She doesn't want a cab. When they were in the street, they found no carriage and they began to seek for one, hailing the coachman whom they saw at a distance. They walked along toward the river, hopeless and shivering. Finally, they found one of those old carriages, poor carriages, that one sees in Paris after nightfall. It's a horse coach like. It took them as far as their door, and they went wearily means tired, up to their apartment. It was all over for her. And on his part, I remembered that he would have to be at the office by 10 o'clock in the morning. She removed the wraps from her shoulders before the mirror, before the glass, for a final view of herself in the luxurious dress and the jewel. Suddenly, while she was watching her appearance in the mirror, "Oh my God!" she uttered a cry. Her necklace was not found, not around her neck. Loisel, already half undressed, asked, "Darling, what is the matter?" She turned towards him excitedly. "Oh my God, I no longer have Mrs. Forestier's necklace. It was missing." "What? Oh my God, check properly." He arose in shock. Dismay means shock. "What? How is that? It is not possible." And they looked in the folds of the dress, checked the dress, in the folds of the cloak, in the packets, everywhere. They could not find the necklace, diamond necklace. He asked, "You are sure you still left the minister's house?" Yes, I felt it as we came out. But if you had lost it in the street, we should have heard it fall. It must be in the cab. It was very silent. If it fell down, you would have heard the sound. It must be in the cab, the horse coach. Yes, it is possible. Did you take the number of that? No. And you? Did you notice what it was? No. They looked at each other, utterly cast down. That means cast down means totally dejected and sad. Finally, Loisel dressed himself again. Loisel, in order to search the lost jewel, he dressed himself and ran like a mad fellow in the streets. "I am going," he said, "over the track where we went on foot to see if I can find it." And he went. She remained in her evening gown, not having the force to go to bed. She was unable to sleep with that sadness. It's not possible for her, not having to force to go to bed. Towards 7 o'clock, her husband returned. 4:30, he ran out. By 7, he came. He had found nothing. He went to the police and gave the complaint and to the cab officers and put an advertisement in the newspaper also, offering a reward if anybody find the necklace and bring back. She waited all the day in a state of bewilderment before this frightful disaster. Loisel returned in the evening. Again he went and searched. His face pale. He had discovered nothing. He said, "Come on, write to your friend Forestier that you have broken the clasp of the necklace, maybe the hook of the necklace, and we will make it ready. You will have it repaired, and that will give us some time to think what to do." She wrote as he dictated. At the end of a week, they had lost all hope, and Loisel, older by 5 years, declared, "We must replace this jewel. Anyhow, we must replace." In a shop of the Palace Royal, that is maybe jewelry shop, they found a chaplet of diamonds. They found a necklace which seemed to them exactly looking like the one they had borrowed and lost. It was valued at 40,000 francs. Unimaginable for the middle class people. They could get it for 36,000. So final rate for the diamond necklace is 36,000. Loisel possessed 18,000 francs which his father had left for him. He borrowed the rest. He made disastrous, ruinous promises, took money from usurers. Usurers means cruel money lenders for high interest. He borrowed the other 18,000 and the whole race of lenders. Then he went to get the new necklace, depositing on the merchant counter 36,000 francs. So they bought a new diamond necklace. When Mrs. Loisel took back the jewels to Mrs. Forestier, the latter said to her in a frigid tone, "You should have returned them to me sooner, because I might have needed them." So anyway, poor husband and wife replaced the lost jewel. But how they are going to repay the loan, borrowed money? That is the second part of the lesson that will be following in the second video. Listen, read and enjoy. We should not borrow anything from anybody. Yes, children, we will continue the necklace part 2. Madame Forestier did not open the jewel box as Madame Loisel feared she would. What would she think if she should understand the substitution? They bought something other than what she gave. What should she say? Would she take her for a robber? Would Mr. Forestier consider Mrs. Loisel as a robber? She was trembling, shivering. Mrs. Loisel now knew the horrible life of necessity. She did her part, however, completely, heroically. It was necessary to pay this frightful debt. Now, nothing happened as she was afraid. Forestier took the jewel box and kept it in her closet. Now, they must repay the loan borrowed by them. She would pay it. They sent away the maid. They had a small servant maid. Both husband and wife decided to send away. All our works could be done by Loisel. They changed their lodging. They came to a small house, They rented a small house in an attic. She learned the arduous work of a kitchen. She learned some unpleasant work of kitchen, washing the dishes, washed the soiled linen, their cloths and dishcloths, and which she hung on line to dry. She took down the refuse to the street each morning and brought up the water, stopping at each landing to catch her breath. She started working in some households and getting money in order to pay the loan borrowed from the moneylender. And clothed like a woman of the people, she went to the grocer shop, the butcher shop, and the fruit shop with her basket on her arm, shopping. Haggling means bargaining to the last sou of her miserable money. She was having very, very small amount. She was bargaining. The husband worked evening. After coming from the education office, Board of Education, he used to do some extra work in the evening, putting the books of some merchants in order. The nights he often did copying at 5 sous of a page. He was doing some extra work, overtime duty for earning more money. And this life lasted for 10 years. Both husband and wife were struggling and suffering and collecting money and paying back their loan. At the end of 10th year, at the end of 10 years, they had restored all. Peacefully, they repaid all the borrowed money. Madame Loisel seemed old now because of that hard work day and night. The beautiful lady became looking seemingly old now. She had lost her charm. She had lost her beauty. She had become strong, hard woman, the crude woman of poor household. She was looking like a old woman. Her beauty totally disappeared. Her hair badly dressed. Her skirts were ugly, awry. Her hands red because of hard work. She spoke in a loud tone and washed the floors with large pails of water. But sometimes when her husband was at the office, she would seat herself before the window and think of that evening party of former times. What happened in the midnight dinner party of minister's house, of that ball which totally changed upside down their life. when she was so beautiful and so flattered. How would it have been if she had not lost the necklace? Ha! That day, if I had not lost the necklace, our life would have been very happy. Who knows how singular is life and how full of changes, how small a thing will ruin or save one. A small carelessness of missing the necklace totally changed the life, totally topsy-turvy, upside down. One Sunday, as she was taking a walk in the Champs-Elysees to rid herself of the cares of the week, she wanted to go for walking. At the time, she suddenly saw a woman walking with a child. It was the old friend, Madame Forestier, still young, still beautiful, still pretty, still attractive. Madame Loisel was affected. Should she speak to her? Yes, certainly, and now that she had paid, she would tell her all. Why not? She approached her. Good morning, Jean. Good morning. Her friend did not recognize. Forrester was not able to recognize her friend Loisel because she totally become looking like a old woman because of her hard work. She was unable to recognize her and was astonished, shocked to be so familiarly addressed by this common personage. She stammered and slowly, but madam, I do not know, you must be mistaken. No, I am your friend Matilda Loisel. Oh my God, her friend uttered a cry of astonishment, surprise. Oh, it is my poor friend Matilda. How you have changed a lot. Where is your beauty? What happened to you? Yes, I have had some hard days, 10 years of hard working since I saw you, and some miserable ones, and all because of you, madam. Oh, what you say? Because of me? How is that? How can you blame me? Do you remember? Can you recall the diamond necklace that you lent me to wear to the minister's ball, the party? Yes, remember. I have given you. What happened to that? Very well. That night I lost your jewel. I lost your necklace. No, how is that? Since you returned it to me, I returned not exactly your own necklace, another one to you, exactly looking like that. And it has taken us 10 years to pay. We borrowed money, says the new one, and gave to you. You can understand that it was not easy for the middle class family people like us who have nothing, but it is finished. Totally our lives shattered, and I am decently content. Madame Forestier stopped short. She said, You say what? You say that you bought an original diamond necklace to replace mine? Yes, you did not perceive it then. You did not understand that I have given something else. They were just looking like. That's what. And she smiled with a proud and simple joy. But Madame Forestier was with a shock and touched and took both her hands, replied, Dear children, it is again O. Henry twist in the last sentence. Madame Forestier said, Oh, my dear poor Matilda, my poor girl, I have given you simply not original diamond necklace. Mine were false, duplicate necklace. They were not worth over 500 francs. What? Matilda got shocked. Mr. Forestier's necklace original cost was 500 francs, but Matilda and her husband spent 36,000 francs and bought original diamond necklace in order to give back. What a big mistake they have done. So, we must all avoid borrowing anything from anybody. I remember here Kannadasan Sar's Tamil song saying the same idea. Let me share that. வாடகை சோபா 20 ரூபா விலைக்கு வாங்கினா 30 ரூபா தங்கச்சங்கிலி இரவல் வாங்கினா தவறி போச்சுன்னா தகிட தந்தனா வரவு எட்டனா செலவு பத்தனா this beautiful non-detailed supplementary story is having the resemblance of a beautiful song written by the great ever-living Kannadasan. Okay, children, I hope you might have enjoyed that non-detailed story in 2 parts. Read once again, use your non-detailed book, and after that, take my pink color guide, read the summary immediately. Okay, all the best.